Hi guys, welcome back to the next part of the series. Today we're going to talk about Substance Painter. Now, I know we've been doing pretty much everything inside of Blender for the past 4 chapters, but now it's time that we understand that there are other softwares out there that are really powerful to do other types of things. So even though you could texture inside of Blender and there are certain tools that you can use to get good results, I mean after doing this for so many years, I cannot not recommend this software, which is Substance Painter. I'm very proud of being one of the first users or first students in my generation to use Substance Painter. Back then, everyone else was using Mari and Photoshop, and I saw Substance Painter and I really thought, hey, this has potential. So I've been using it for ever since like 2015 or 2014, something like that. So it's an amazing software, and yes, it's not free. Unfortunately, it's not free, but I do consider it to be quite affordable. So if you buy just the Substance Painter collection, which is just Substance Painter, Substance Sampler, and Substance Designer, I believe it's something like $30 per month, the subscription, and you get access to the really cool thing that's called the Substance 3D assets. So you get access to a library where you can download really advanced materials. Like for instance, I could look for volcano. You're gonna see that we have access to this volcano kind of stones or lava, and it's really handy. For me, from a production perspective, this has been like a godsend, being able to access all of these elements right here. I'm gonna be showing you some other like resources that you can also use, but that's one of the reasons why I like being part of the like Substance family, if you wish. However, if you are a student or a teacher and you have your like education email like .edu, you can get Substance 3D collection for free, completely free. When I also teach in other parts, so I also have that available license for myself, which is the exact same software for free. You can also try the software for, I believe, like 15 days or 14-day trial or something like that. So if you don't want to commit to buying it or you don't have an EDU license, don't worry. Those 14 days should be more than enough to allow you to complete this part of the process. One last thing, you can also get Substance 3D Painter like permanently. I know some people like to have permanent softwares. You can buy it inside of Steam, so it's a little bit pricey right now. This is like $70 or something like that, and you only get updates for like 1 year, if I remember right. So you might not get the latest releases from Substance Painter, but this is still a good option. Okay, so as you can see, you will get free updates on Steam up to the end of 2023 if you get this one right here. So all of those are options for you to get Substance Painter, and now let's jump into the software. When you open Substance Painter, you're going to get this windows, and the navigation inside of Substance is a little bit different than from Blender. You're going to be using Alt and the 3 clicks. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to say File, New, and I'm going to select, of course, the bake that we just released, which is this Axe Lava, or was it the Lava Axe? Axe Lava. Axe Lava. We hit OK, and we're going to do this at 4K textures, okay? And now, the normal map format is it's an important decision to make, but it's not like essential. Right now, I'm gonna keep it at DirectX because I want to export these things as if it was gonna be used in Unreal, and Unreal uses DirectX. But the normal map is the direction in which we're gonna be seeing the details of the normal map. If you mess up, if you select the one that's the wrong one, don't worry, there are ways to flip it at the very end, and you're gonna get the exact same results. I'm just gonna hit OK. And the first thing I wanna do is I wanna analyze my element and make sure that we don't have any errors. And I'm already seeing a couple of errors. So for instance, the first error that I'm seeing is that we are missing some triangles right there on the axe, which is a little bit worrying, but it's not the end of the world. So, okay, first thing that I notice, those are missing. We are missing those triangles right there, right there. The mirror is not perfect right there, okay? So that's one. Second thing that I'm noticing, this guy's right here, the bolts, for instance, all of the bolts, it seems that we're missing the bolts on the other side, and this bolts right here, they're like flipped over, and that's because we have the normals reversed. Okay, same for the supports right here. Again, very common mistakes. Don't worry, don't panic, we are gonna solve it. Same for the rod right here. You can see that the rod is inverted, so we need to go back to Blender. We're gonna go back to Blender and let's solve that real quick. So let's start by solving the flip normals, which is fairly easy to do. I'm gonna go to this guys right here, and I'm gonna go to face mode and select all of the linked faces right here, right here, right here, and right here, which again, based on what we saw, those were the ones that were having the issues, right? So once I've selected those faces, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to face, and there is an option on the display. Where is it? Face data. No, that's not that one. It's the normals. The normals are the direction in which the faces are like looking at. So where is it? I always forget where this one is. There we go. Shading, normals. There we go. Normals and flip. That's it. You're not gonna notice anything here, but that's gonna solve the issue on inside of a substance. Now for the bolts, I can see that all of the square bolts have the exact same issue. So let me isolate this real quick. Let's go into face mode, select all, and then deselect this ones. There we go. And we're gonna go again to mesh. Sorry, to mesh, normals, and we're gonna do flip. There we go. Now one thing we forgot to do with this guys right here was the mirror. So we need to do the mirror modifier and apply. There we go. Let's get out, and that's the one. Now on this rod as well, same process. So we're gonna go into face mode, select all of the faces, mesh, normals, and flip. That's it. So now once we have this, we should be able to select everything again. File, export once again as FBX, and if we go to the Axe Lava, which is the one that we're using, we're just gonna export. We go to Substance Painter. Let's start a new one. It's just easier to start a new one. Axe Lava. I'm just gonna do it right like this to make sure that we solve this. And there we go. So as you can see, the bolts have been solved, the rod has been solved, the armor has been solved. So everything is looking good. The spikes, everything. We get the mirror on both sides. Oh, it seems like we forgot to mirror this one as well. So again, go over here, modifier, mirror modifier, and apply. Okay. Now, before we bring this back into Substance, let's fix some of the issues that we have right here. So let's isolate this guy real quick, and we are gonna go to vertex mode, and those two we're gonna merge at center. I think that's the only one that we were missing. And then we got these guys right here, which are having, again, a little bit of an issue. So let me see how we can solve this. First, let me make sure that we don't have like extra faces. Doesn't seem like it. We might have extra vertex. So I'm going to go wireframe, grab the vertex like there, there, and there. And I'm going to do M, merge by distance. There's no vertices removed, so that's not the issue. Again, usually the issue is because we have like non-manifold geometry or geometries that are really difficult for this thing to like properly think about. There's another thing that we can do, and that is to triangulate the object. So as I mentioned before, everything gets triangulated at the end. So one thing we can do here is add a modifier and just triangulate everything. So now if we take a look at the wireframe, you're gonna see that everything's triangulated. I'm gonna apply this this triangulation. It's not going to increase the poly count or anything. And let's give it a shot like this. Because again, I can see the triangles. So technically it should be working. Let's do this again. File, export, FBX, Axe Lava. Over here, file, new, select, Axe Lava. Okay, so we do get some of the elements right here. I'm a little bit concerned about that shading that we're getting there. And we did not solve that issue. So let's go back. Let's go back. Let's not do the triangulation, because that's definitely like freaking things out. And let's try to understand what is going on here. The other thing that I'm thinking about doing is just deleting those faces. Like if we go to face mode, and we delete those faces. I'm not sure if the UV, delete faces. Let's delete the faces. This is definitely gonna mess up the UV a little bit, but don't worry. We can solve it real quick. There we go. Oh, you know what? I think I know what it was. Okay, so I think the issue is that that the half of this thing, when we did the half thing, we did like a full like triangle right there or something. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to this face and this face. Let's fill it, and then this face and this face. Let's fill it. this face and this face, let's fill it. This face and this face, and let's fill it. Are we missing one? Yes. This one, and this one, we fill it. And this one and this one. Oh. This one and this one, we fill. Okay. So we fill the faces first. And then I'm gonna grab my cut tool or knife tool. And I'm gonna do the half points right there. Same thing right here. So we go there. Go there. It's not perfectly aligned, don't worry. We'll align it in just a second. Actually, I think I can click and then just shift. Yeah, let's go back that way. We save ourselves a little bit of time. So let's fill this again. Now we go knife, click, shift, so that it's exactly on the center. And there we go. Click, shift, and there we go. Click, shift, and there we go. Okay, cool. So that should solve the elements. I know that they don't have UVs just yet, but I am gonna export this just to see if it solves the issue. So File, Export FBX, Export FBX, File, New, X Lava. Yeah, there we go. So that definitely solves the issue, as you can see right there. However, one of the issues that we haven't solved is the UV. So I know if I do a bake right now, those triangles might not have their appropriate like area so that we can bake textures into them. So we need to go back here very quickly. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into face mode. We're gonna select those faces right there. Those little faces. And we're gonna do a UV. And we're gonna do a project from view. And technically, it should only project the views on those little faces. There we go, look at that. And then by selecting those, I'm just gonna say UV and unwrap, and it's just gonna unwrap those faces. There we go, beautiful. Now we can grab the whole thing. We can grab this guy, let's grab this point. Oh. Grab that one, and that one. And just link and scale. Oh. And there we go. We just scale. And I already know that there's like nothing over here. So we can rotate them right there. And this is a little bit of manual fixing. I'm actually kind of glad that it happened so that you guys can see how it works every now and then. Because even after so many years of doing this, you'll still mess up. It's part of the whole process. Let's grab everything here. I just want to see the whole UVs. There we go. Just to make sure that there's no like overlapping anything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we can grab all of this guys right here. File, Export, FBX. We're gonna export the FBX right there. And now we're gonna be able to create our new file. File, new. Let's do 4K now. Select XLAPA, DirectX, and hit OK. Discard. And if everything went according to plan, this is what we should have. All of the triangles are like properly shaded. We don't have any like transparent effects. We have all of the assets inside of here. And now we can talk about the baking process. So for the baking process, we're going to go to the little croissant over here, and we're going to do a couple of things. I'm going to talk about the interface of substance in the next one, once we start like dealing with like textures and stuff. But this one is probably the most important part of the whole thing. So I know we're going a little bit over the usual time, but again, please bear with me because it's very, very important. First, output size. Match the exact size that you want to have your final bakes, in this case, 4K. Next, on the high poly parameters, we're going to bring in, or we're going to reference the high poly of our X. And here's where the fun is going to start, where we need to start matching certain things. First, if we see the elements, we should not see any dark spots. If we see any like dark or red spot, that means that we have an issue. Now, it might seem like we're ready to go, It might seem like, hey, this is perfectly fine, just like bake selected textures and there we go. And yes, if we do bake selected textures, as you can see, we are gonna get some effects, but as you can also see, we're getting a lot of overlap. So for instance, the bands right here, the metal bands, they're baking on top of the rocks and stuff. And if we go to back to painting mode, we're gonna see that the bakes look horrible, horrible, horrible. So the reason why this is happening is because this thing doesn't know which things should be baked with which other things. That's why we did the whole like renaming things, because as you can see right here, we can change the match option to go by mesh name. So it's gonna look for the names of the objects underscore low, underscore high, and that way it will only bake the things that are attached to each other. Now, matching by name here, we need to make sure that we have everything correct. This is where we're gonna see that we have all of the different elements. So axe armor low, axe armor high, all of the different elements are like doing this properly. So now if we bake the textures, you're gonna see that we're gonna get a way cleaner bake. The armor is getting some issues right there. We need to check what that is, but everything else is baking a little bit cleaner. Look at the handle, for instance. Look at how we don't get any sort of like weird effects. So yeah, things are looking a little bit better. I think what's happening here is we flipped the normals on this thing so that we could see them properly, and that might have flipped the UVs as well. And when we flip the UVs, we might have gotten a slightly like weird result. So let me go back into Blender and let me figure out what's going on. Because again, this is really weird. But as you can see, the bake on the volcano and everything else is looking really cool, really nice. So this is the process that we're going to be following. Now, don't worry, I'm going to repeat this once again, the match by name and things like that. But let me figure out what this thing is going before we move forward. So I'm going to stop the video right here. Let me solve it and I'll show you what the issue was.